Hi, I'm Dr. George Yancey. Let's share some paradigms. Paradigm our share today is Trump, bad solutions to real problems. I have a general idea of how I see Trump. I think that he is a bad solution to legit problems. And what this means is that people on the right think he's a good solution, and they're wrong. People on the left think the problems are not real, and they're wrong. I want to illustrate this. And I think the best way for me to illustrate this, being who I am in academia, is to illustrate this through a problem where this is really clearly indicated. And that's the problem of academic freedom. I and some other academics, and I'm, other group of academics talk about academic freedom. I'm not a big voice in that. I have had a voice. I have cooperated with Heterodox Academy and things of this nature. I've talked with Jonathan Haidt about this. And so I have been active, but not extremely active. But I have been one of the academics talking about the lack of academic freedom, the problems we have in our society, in academia, the problems that causes. I have academic friends who are basically drummed out of academia because they had the wrong political ideas. I've done research showing the bias against political conservatives and conservative Christians in academia. All these things, has happened. I've seen, and as I've seen it, it's been a problem. And academics did not want to deal with the problem. Let's be honest. Academics on the left like the situation. They like having a monopoly, a near monopoly of resources, of access to journals. They didn't want to deal with the problem. And me and a lot of people were talking into the wind. It was a real problem. President Trump has come along and he has seen this as a problem. He's spoken about this as a problem. So you think we'd be happy, but we're not. Because the solutions do not work. I am not a person who is very supportive of a lot of the research done in LGBTQ stuff. I've found it to be very vapid, to not be well done, to be very activistic. Having said that, I find it disturbing that there are universities now, I'm talking about not Christian colleges, which, fine, but universities that are killing research into LGBTQ issues because of pressure from Trump. I've been a critic of how diversity is done. So you think I may be happy to see DEI being killed in universities. I am not. You see, academic freedom is not just about what I want to study, because I have no desire to study LGBTQ issues. I have no desire to do DEI the way a lot of people do it. The way I want to do it is to be a little bit more, I think, a better way. But I want people free to pursue those issues and me free to critique them or to accept them as they come up. I want to be able to pursue my research agenda and people critique it as it comes up. That is academic freedom. What the Trump administration is doing is doing the reverse of what was happening before, perhaps even more so. While a lot of what's done before was done beneath the scenes, hidden, and it was disgusting, the Trump administration and the current conservative resurgence is saying, you're not going to be allowed to study this or to study that. It's a bad solution, but to a real problem. That's the nature, I believe, of the Trump administration. That they see real problems and provide bad solutions to those real problems. What would be a better solution? To address the concerns that are out there. There are legitimate concerns that the left want to ignore. Than the heavy-handed right-wing attempts that we've seen. I think a better solution would be focus in on more access to more ideas, true viewpoint diversity, not squelching leftist ideas, not squelching those ideas, but allowing ideas from non-leftists to thrive, to compete, to grow. Perhaps research money. I would have liked to have seen, saying, okay, we're going to put these pots of research money, and we're going to, there's been a lot of research given to leftist ideas. We're going to have this pot of money, pot of resources for ideas that are not leftist, that, you could apply for. That would have been a good solution, because that would not have squelched ideas on the left. That would allow competing ideas to go against them. And in that, we would probably find what is more likely to be true. So this would have been a better solution. This would have been a solution that those on the left would have had a hard time arguing against. Oh, they would have came. There are people who have called some of these new ideas racist, homophobic, xenophobic, whatever. But, we've been called that before. We can survive that. Give us resources. We can survive that. Those who are not on the left, give us some resources. So there have been some argument, but it's been a lot harder, a lot easier to argue against, we're going to shut down your program because we don't like your ideas. Because that's what was happening on the left until recently. The left ignores the problem. The right, under the Trump administration, provides solutions that are not workable and might make things worse. Donald Trump is a bad solution to legitimate problems. When we understand this, we can put Trump in its proper context. Perhaps those on the left can see some of these problems as legitimate and offer real solutions for it. Perhaps those on the right can see that he is not offering good solutions and is seeking out better solutions. So that's my understanding of the Trump administration. Bad solutions to legitimate problems. And I think if we see it that way, it'll help us get a better understanding of what's happening in our current society today. I hope this is insightful to you. Hope you've enjoyed this. If you do, please come back. We can shatter some more paradigms.